Hello everyone and welcome back. So finally we have done it. This is the last part of this series. We have been building a YouTube clone application connecting to real YouTube data. We have implemented certain features such as searching for videos, playing videos, sharing videos. Now one of the last things that we will do today is the ability to download the videos for offline viewing. So there are many situations wherein you may want to download the video, and then while you are, you know, commuting to work or, just sitting idle, or you do not have internet connection, you may want to view the video offline. So for that, let's jump right into it and implement. By the way, I'll be releasing the full source code of this application on my GitHub repository immediately after this video. So please do make sure to check out my GitHub page. It is linked in the description below. Okay. Yeah. So what we are going to do, we are going to display a progress bar. You remember we implemented the download button for which we hooked it up to a download video command in our view model, but we did not code anything for that. And we do not have any user interface to show it as well. So what we need to do, let us first implement a simple user interface, which is going to show a progress bar along with the percentage as and when the video is downloading. And once the video is downloaded, we should hide that progress bar control and pop up a message to save the video on the disk. So let's implement that UI part first. To do that, I'm first going to go and implement a couple of observable properties, which we will be using in our user interface. So I have a couple of properties. One is a progress value property. So since we are downloading the video in chunks, we do not want the user to feel that there is something happening in the background. Usually, one of the ways is you start the download and it is downloading in the background. You do not get any indication of the progress of the download. And boom, once the video is downloaded, it suddenly asks you to save the video, or it will tell you or give you a message saying that the video has been downloaded. More or less, you get an experience where you feel that the user interface is either frozen or nothing is happening. So the best way is that you keep informing the user of the progress by showing a progress bar, say 1% complete, 2% complete, 10% complete, 15% complete, and so on. So the user knows how long it is going to take for the video to download. Assuming if the user has very slow internet connection, he knows it is going to take a bit of while. So this is what we are going to use this property for, progress value, to report the progress to the user. And the second one is another property, which is downloading. This property we will use to ensure if the video is already downloading at the moment and someone presses the download video button again, don't start downloading because download is already in progress. And secondly, when we will implement the user interface over here, we want to make sure that if the video is downloading, only then show the progress bar indication. Otherwise, we can hide that section. So for this, we are going to go at the very bottom after our comments button, and we are going to add the progress bar indicator control. Let me fix these. Yeah. So here what I have is I have a content view where I'm saying that this content view is only visible when the video is being downloaded. This is where we are using the is downloading property, and I am putting it in the same place as where I have put in my button, but I'm putting it on top of the button as well. And then inside it is a simple vertical stack layout with two sub elements into it. One is a progress bar, which is bound to the progress value. So as and when the progress value increases, our progress bar will show the indication. And below that, I'm also showing the progress value as a percentage with one decimal point. So for example, 0.1%, 0.2%, 0.8%, 1.9%, and so on. So it's a simple user interface that we have created for this. Now, this is all we need for the user interface part. Now, what we need to implement the download functionality. I can very well go and implement it directly into my view models page over here in the download video. But as we have been saying, it is always better to abstract out the services which you believe you might be using again and again. Take an example. In many of your projects, you may want to download uh, videos or files from the web, or can be anything. So it might be worthwhile that you put it in your frameworks project. Now, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm not going to put it in my frameworks project. I'm just going to put it in my Maui tube player project, but we can easily add it to the frameworks project as well. So let me go and let me create a new interface for this. I'm going to call it iDownload service. It's going to be an interface. Very simple interface. This interface is only going to have one method which we can call. So this method is basically a download file async function, which is returning a string, and this string is the location of the downloaded file or the path where the file has been downloaded, which we will use eventually. So it is just taking a couple of important parameters. One is the URL of the file to download. It might be a video, it might be a Word document, an image from the internet, usually in the format of HTTP or HTTPS colon slash slash something. And then this is the file name that you want to store this as. And then I'm adding a couple of components to this, and sorry, a couple of additional properties. This is the progress indicator. So whenever we are downloading the file, basically we are downloading in chunks. So we are going to download the file in chunks of 4 KB each. So after every 4 KB, we want to report the progress. And then we also want to provide an ability to cancel the request. What if the user wants to cancel the download? Maybe the internet connection for the user is extremely slow and he knows it's going to take him ages or an hour to download this video, and he does not want to continue with the download, rather he wants to cancel it. Of course, we are not going to implement this cancel functionality in our application today, but you can use this cancellation token to cancel the download so that the background downloading is cancelled. And by the way, this is going to be downloaded in the background. So with our interface implemented, the next thing we need to do, we need to now implement the actual service. So I'm going to go add the actual service. I'm going to call it file download service. Let's start off with cleaning up. I'm going to bring in this download service file, the code, and then I'm going to explain what we are doing. It's a simple process. So it is a file download service class that we have created, implementing the iDownload file service. So it only has this one function, download file async. This is what we are implementing. So all we are doing in this, just 2 or 3 steps. We are creating an HTTP client. We are setting our buffer size to 4 KB, and then we are fetching the data from this file URL, passing in different options along with our cancellation token. And then we are ensuring that yes, we do get a response for this file. What if you passed in a bad URL, a bad file location? So it is going to fail. Now, the next thing that we are creating a location or a file path where we will be storing our actual downloaded file. So for that, I have created a new variable file path, and I'm storing it in my special folders dot local application data, and then combining it with the file name which the user wanted to save it as. Now, this is exactly the reason why I created this service over here in this project in the interest of time. Otherwise, ideally, we should also abstract it out. So I could have provided either the full path or this location, whether it is local application data or cache data or anything, into this function call itself, and then I could put it in my frameworks project. But in the interest of time, I decided to do it hard coded. So that's why I'm putting it in this project. The next thing is I'm just going to get the total size of the data. For this file that we are downloading, what is the total size? Let's say this total file is 2 megabytes in size, which is 2000 kilobytes. So of course, 2000 kilobytes divided by 4 KB is going to give you around 500 chunks. So it is going to download the data in 500 different chunks of 4 KB each. And now this is the actual download logic. I'm simply opening a file stream for this file path where I'm going to store the data, right? And then I'm using the stream, I'm going to read this stream, and I'm just doing a bit of work over here. I'm not going to go into the details. And then if the cancellation token was requested, as I was mentioning earlier, we can cancel and we can throw an exception. And now we are reading the buffer size, which is the 4000 bytes or the 4 kilobytes, and I'm saving or I'm writing it to our file stream, which is saving it into this file path. And then I'm reporting the progress. So I'm saying progress.report, whatever is the total bytes read divided by the total data. So assuming if the total data was 2 megabytes, which is 2000 kilobytes, and first time when I download 4 kilobytes, I'll be saying 4 divided by 2000, which might be 0.00 something. And then next time when I download another 4 KB, so it becomes total of 8 KB. So my total progress is 8 divided by 2000, and then 12 by 2000, 16, and so on. So this is how the progress is going to be reported. And then at the end, I'm going to return the file path. Let me fix this. So once the download is completed successfully, I'm going to return the file path. This is where I stored my actual file, which is in my local application data combined with the file name which the user provided. So this is a simple file download service which is created. Now with this file download service created, the next thing we need to do, we need to register this service, because I'm going to use this in my in my view model. So we are going to use dependency injection for this. So we have our API service over here. I can also go and I can register a singleton of this iDownload file service in my MAUI application file. So basically I'm registering it in the DI container, which we can make use of. So let us close this. Now going back to this, once we have register this, we can actually go ahead and we can inject it into our view model. So I do not need to do anything over here. All I need to do is I just need to specify in my constructor that I want to inject this file download service, and I'm going to store a reference of this into a private variable, a local variable, which we will use. So let me create a local variable, and then I'm going to save this injected service into this underscore file downloaded service. So let's go back here. Here we go. So it is as simple as this. So now automatically, because of this dependency injection, because of us registering the service, our view model automatically gets this service. To implement the download video functionality, it is again very, very simple. So let me bring in a couple of things. Let's start explaining what this is doing. So the first thing we are doing, we are checking if the file is already downloading. Remember this property that we created, by default it is false. If it is already downloading, then we return, we don't do anything. Otherwise, if it is not yet downloading, then we are creating a progress indicator of type progress. And here we are saying as and when the progress changes, which is coming from, let me go back over here, which is coming from this progress.report. As and when a new progress report comes in, what I'm going to do, I'm going to update the progress value, which we created a property for over here and which we want to use on the front end. I'm setting it to the value which is returned. And we are also creating a cancellation token, though we are not using, but I have been using this for some of my other projects where I do use it. So that's the reason. Otherwise, if you do not want to use, you can simply exclude this and even in your service, you can remove the reference to this cancellation token. You do not need this cancellation token if you don't want to use. And now let's actually go and download the file. Downloading the file is very simple. So the first thing we do, we set is downloading equals to true. So to indicate to the user interface that yes, we are downloading, which means you can now go ahead and show us this control or these elements, which is going to show us the progress bar and the progress in percentage. And once we have downloaded, completed downloading, or even if it errored out, we are going to clear this flag so that we can download it again. The next thing, what is the URL to download? If you remember in the previous video, we were getting the video URL, and for the video URL, we were storing it in this, the video source we were using a very low quality, which was 240 or 360 or 480p, low quality for displaying. But I also stored this stream info, what did we store it over here? Yeah, we stored the stream info as a local variable so that I can make use of it again, rather than making call to this whole logic again, which is going to go over the internet and find out all the streams. I just stored it locally. And this is the reason we did that, so that we don't have to make the call. And now all I'm doing is I'm going to my stream info, order by descending by video resolution. So I'm going to get the highest resolution which is available for display or playing purposes in the mobile app, because it's a small screen. It does not matter. I don't want to play 720p or 1080p or 1440p or 2160p, which is 4K or even 8K video. It does not make sense. But when we are downloading, we want to make sure that we are downloading the highest possible resolution. So I am getting the highest quality video which is available from this list of streams, and then I am just getting the URL of this. So, and that URL I'm storing it as URL to download. So this will be the direct URL to the video, and this also is the URL, not the highest resolution, but the low resolution one, which we have been playing in the media element in the last video. And then what I'm doing, I'm simply making a call to this file download service, download file async, passing in the URL to download. So let me put it in separate lines so we can see it. Let me clean this up. So what are we passing this function? So we are passing in the first parameter, which is this URL to download. And then what is the file name that we want to store it as? So we want to give it the file name, which is our video title. So if the video title is iPhone 14 release date, we want to store it as iPhone 14 release date .mp4. This is how we want to save it. Now, one additional thing I'm doing, because sometimes the title may contain some special elements such as a forward slash or a colon or some other characters which are not allowed on the in the file name when storing to local disks. That is where you recall we created another helper method or an extension method called clean cache data. This is something that we use to save the local cached local data, the data which is coming from JSON or from web requests into a local cache. And this is where we were cleaning up all these special characters and replacing them with either spaces or underscores. So we are going to rely on the same thing. So if someone says iPhone space 14/15 release date, we are going to store it as iPhone space 14_15 space release date. That's how we are going to store. And we are passing in this progress indicator that we have created, which is actually going to go and update our progress value and the cancellation token. Now, once this is complete, because we are awaiting this, once this download is completed, it is going to return us the actual downloaded path, the full location of the downloaded file or the video into this local variable downloaded file path. Once we have this file path and the download is complete, we can use the share file request using the Maui essentials, which is now baked in fully to ask the user to save this somewhere on the disk or email it or whatever the user wants to do. It is totally up to them. So we will just pop up a share dialog with this file and let the user save it wherever they want. And we are just passing in the file that we have downloaded, the path of the file which we have downloaded, and we are going to give it the title, which is the title of the video. That's all we are doing. And then at the end, we are setting the is downloading to false so that we can go ahead and we can download further. Now let me quickly run this application and show it to you in action. So the application is coming up. Kid tries to kill mom for iPhone 14. This is definitely not a candidate for putting on my YouTube. Fine. Anyways, let's go to this unbox therapy, this video. It is going to fetch the details, display them on the screen. And now if I click on download button, you see over here, it is downloading and you can see the progress bar moving and the percentage also increasing. And here we are downloading the highest quality video, so it is taking a bit of time. Let's wait for this to complete. So we are almost done, close to 100%. And let's see what happens once the download completes. Once the download complete, it pops up this file name that we are storing it as. You remember all the spaces we are replacing with the underscores, any other special characters we are replacing with the underscores. And here you will have the share targets. Maybe you want to share this file using WhatsApp, or you want to send it via email, or in our case, we can simply go ahead and we can save it to file. So I can say save it to my phone, and that's it. And now you notice even that progress bar disappeared, and I can also start downloading this again. Let me go and show you another thing which we are doing. If I go, and this will also actually continue downloading in the background. So let me start the download, and you see it is downloading, and while it moves somewhere very close, I will show you, even if I navigate out of this page, it will still continue running. And once the process is completed, let me go to the previous page, or maybe another page. Let me go to this video. You see, it popped up, even though it was downloading in the background and we are outside of this application, it is still going to show me this pop-up box. So I can save it. Let me go to some other video, perhaps this one. It is called iPhone 14. It's official. Let me start downloading. It is downloading. Maybe I will go into another video meanwhile. While I'm at this video, once the download completes, you will notice a pop-up will appear here. Here you go. So Apple iPhone 14, it's official. I can close this. So that's it. We are done. I hope you have enjoyed this series and you have learned some new things. Again, I would suggest these are just my opinions. This is how I have been coding. There are certain design and architectural patterns that I have been following, which I believe might be helpful to the community, and that's what I'm trying to communicate over here. There are better ways of doing the same things. If you believe that some of these things could have been done in a better way, please feel free to let me know and I will update. Just like the other day, someone suggested where in my view controls that I created for the data binding purpose from the collection view data templates, I was passing the parent context. So someone suggested to use another better approach. So we quickly went and we updated that. So we all learn together as a community. If there is anything, reach out to me on Twitter, leave a comment in YouTube so that we can all benefit from it. And if you like this series, please go and watch all the videos, press the like button. And if you want to stay updated with new content coming related to .NET MAUI in future, please consider subscribing to this channel and ring the notification bell so you get or you keep yourself updated with any new content that follows through. So that's it for now. and also check my GitHub repository for the source code for this application. Thank you everyone, and hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.